Jack is a great guy. He's written a fantastic book. Everybody's talking about it. Go get it. And he's been my friend right from the beginning of this whole beautiful event. And we're going to turn it around and make our country great again. Amen.
All right, Jack Posobiec, we're back live here, Human Events Daily. We are on with Grace Riley, a Turning Point USA alumnus, who is now launching the new show and podcast, Restoring America. I couldn't be more excited. Grace, before we dig into, I wanted to hit some issues with you. Before we do, tell us where people can go to get access to this. Obviously, you're going to be promoting it on your social media, but if they don't know where to get that, where do they go?
On YouTube at the Restoring America podcast, and then on the rest of the platforms at Restoring America podcast, and you can search it on Spotify, Apple, and I look forward to having you join. Oh,
I'd be more than happy to join. So we'll get up. It's Restoring America. It's on every single spot that you can get things.
All of you have to watch the show because Jack's going to be on it in the near future, so you can't miss that.
Wow, just like put me in a box like that, huh? Put me on the spot. Like now I just have to do it. That's called live booking, folks. Live booking.
That's right.
No, I said I would be on. I said I'm happy to be on when you asked. You know, you don't have to do that. Don't put me on the spot, Grace. Gosh. No, I'm more than happy to be on. And, that's something Charlie always said. I remember, funny enough, and not that it applies to you, but I remember there was a time where I forget what it was. I had this decision to make, and I had a couple of different requests about interviews, and I go to Charlie. I said, "What do you think I should do with this? I've got like a couple interviews, but they're at like the same time, and it's just logistically kind of weird." And I was like, "I don't know if I don't want to like take off anybody, but And he goes, "Find a way to do them all. Just find a way to do them all. Do everything. Just do everything." And that was always his policy. Just do everything. Be everywhere.
Well, now you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I'll be able to do that. Exactly right. I finally be on the Restoring America podcast. I finally get somewhere.
Exactly.
And so, but Grace, what I'd love to, and if we want to do and by the way, so is this going to be? Are you talking like? Are these going to be in-depth podcasts, or is it going to be short stuff? Like, what's your format?
Yeah, so it's going to be short, and part of the reason for that is to hopefully be able to reach all of you with your busy schedules, because there's so much out there to consume and be watching and learning every single day. So it will be short and digestible. That's the goal. But it's going to have unique value where it will feel in depth. That's the goal here. So that you can be adding on your knowledge when you're looking at current events. Everything, even from history in the past, that will be brought up is going to be incredibly relevant. I've found that that's what people are the most interested in, because it really brings to life all of the issues that we're facing today.
Well, the biggest one for me, and obviously we started talking about Charlie, but the biggest thing that I've been raising the alarm on, and obviously I've talked about it for years, but predominantly in the last couple of weeks, is the rise of leftist political violence, and it's something where I just feel like it still to this point, and that's why we have to use social media. That's why we have to bring this information directly to people. Videos, again, right? If you just look at the U-Haul video that's going viral this morning of this U-Haul out in Oakland, California, that if you clip that video, so what Antifa is doing, they're running all over TikTok right now, and they're clipping the video to make it look like these officers, this federal law enforcement, is just randomly opening fire on a U-Haul truck. But if you show the full video, what does it show? It says shows the U-Haul truck and the Antifa driver are flooring it in reverse, so that the back area of the U-Haul is directed at these officers. I mean, not obviously it could have killed them by running them over, and who knows? There could have been an IED in there. There could have been worse. And unfortunately, I feel like this is getting worse. Grace, do you feel like when you go out and you put the stuff on social media, are people starting to become more receptive? What's your sense there?
Yeah, that's my hope. Of course, what you're saying, though, is something I've been thinking a lot about, that is there hope to even have conversations like this and, to talk about the whys if one side is so okay with political violence all of a sudden? Obviously, there are people on both sides who aren't, but there's a huge fringe of people, and it's not a small amount anymore. We saw that after Charlie passed away and so many people were celebrating his death. There's a lot of people who have normalized and become okay with complete dehumanization and political violence. And that's a serious, serious problem and something that's hard to reason with and that we need to call out at every single chance we get. And it's been insane to watch the escalations of Antifa throughout the past few years, but even just throughout the past few months. I mean, it's gotten worse. It feels like it gets worse every day almost, even watching what's happening with ICE agents who are just doing their jobs, and then also watching Democrat leadership say that it's all okay and be okay with it, right? I mean, the fact that Democrat leadership has been justifying and defending behavior like that, encouraging behavior like that. And I think that that's why it's so important to be calling this out, covering it, because we didn't always, years ago used to be in a place where so many people were okay with normalizing political violence and such extreme reactions to people that you don't agree with politically. It's absolutely insane. And something that you've pointed out on the show, and is a great point, is that Antifa's not new. None of this is new. This playbook is not new. And that's super important to understand when looking at everything going on today.
No, it's not new at all, and yet you'll hear, someone's throwing this around. Oh, the president has locked up thousands of New Yorkers. That's what they were saying. Thousands of New Yorkers. No, these are not New Yorkers. These are illegal invaders, right?
Exactly.
But they play these games.
Yeah,
and
I think that's what's so crazy. Or go ahead,
well,
Jack.
I was just gonna say when you're talking to other people, when you're trying to recruit for Turning Point, when you're going to high schools, when you're going to college campuses. Do people, are they open to hearing perhaps a different point of view than that which they're provided by the mainstream media?
I think that they definitely are. And part of the reason that I would say that is because people have noticed this escalation in being okay with political violence, for example. And there are a lot of decent, reasonable people who see that and say, oh, wait, I don't want to be on that side. I don't agree with that. So I think the radicalization of the left has actually helped people that maybe are more in the middle but lean more towards the left understand the direction that the left is going and be more open to considering other ideas. So there's definitely a chance for that. And something that we've seen through what Charlie Kirk did is the willingness of people to come and at least listen and have conversations. Now, of course, there are people who show up to events like that and won't change their minds, have already decided that. And that's definitely a serious problem in our country. People who are committed to their ideas won't change their minds no matter what, always wrong but never are in doubt. And that's something that I think we just have to not accept and fight against and just keep understanding that our ideas are right, better, and on the side of truth, and that if we can keep bringing those ideas to more people, we do have a chance to change hearts and minds. And I've experienced that in my own life, in my own work, people who were on the left and who have decided to consider conservative values because they've finally gotten a chance to hear them. So I think we've got to hold the line, keep spreading the truth, because there is a chance, and that's something obviously that Charlie believed with what he did every day, and what we believe by nature of talking about conservative values and current events every single day, that people will be able to hear our ideas and consider them. And hopefully that's something that people start opening up more to, and I think that this violence is actually opening more people's eyes.
I think it's exactly right. Grace, I couldn't be more excited to support your podcast and let everybody know about it. I just have to say there's only one rule. You can't live stream from 2 to 3, okay? Because other people are trying to encroach on my hour. That is my hour. Right? That's my space, all right? And then yesterday, Caroline Levitt was trying to get in there with the press conference. Or I said, what are you guys doing? I'm like texting them. So no 2 to 3. All right, we good on that?
No 2 to 3. Everyone, 2 to 3, watch Human Events. My show, don't watch it from 2 to 3.
Yeah, start that right after. Tell everybody once again where they can go get it.
Everyone, you can go on YouTube at the Restoring America Podcast. You can find it on other platforms at Restoring America Podcast. And you can look it up on Spotify and Apple to find Restoring America with Grace Riley. And I hope you'll check it out and enjoy it. I will bring you value. That's my goal and promise.
All right, Grace Riley, Restoring America is the show. She's a great patriot and a TPUSA alumnus. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, you have my permission to lay ashore.